The secret of the origin of mankind is hidden in the moon. How did mankind come into being on this earth? There are various answers to this question, but there is no clear correct answer yet. If you heard that the secret of the origin of mankind is hidden in the moon, you would surely feel confused. These two things that seem unrelated are actually connected by various invisible intentions. This time, based on myths and stories from all over the world and the results of modern scientific research, I would like to talk about the secret of the origin of the moon and mankind, mixing hypotheses and speculations. Please stay with me until the end. From the Earth, the moon and the sun appear to be the same size. This is also the reason why total solar eclipses occur. We are used to seeing this size and do not think it is strange, but it is very rare in the solar system. The diameter of the sun is 1.39 million kilometers, while the diameter of the moon is 3,400 kilometers, which is 1,395 of the sun, and the distance between the sun and the earth is 150 million kilometers, while the distance between the moon and the earth is 380,000 kilometers. The difference is exactly 395 times. This is why the sun and moon appear to be the same size when viewed from Earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system where this phenomenon can be seen. Not only that, but considering the size of the Earth, the size of the moon, which exists as a satellite of the Earth, is far too large. Because of these things, astronomers often say the following: the moon's current position can only be described as an accident. The term Roche limit explains the reason from an astronomical perspective. In a nutshell, the Roche limit indicates the safe area of a celestial body. If a small celestial body such as a moon is inside the Roche limit of a planet, it will be destroyed by the tidal force of the planet. It is believed that Saturn's rings were formed when a moon of Saturn entered the Roche limit of Saturn, for some reason, was destroyed by tidal forces, and the remains became the rings. And there is a concept called the Hell sphere, which indicates the range of the gravity of a celestial body that is opposite to the Roche limit. When a small celestial body goes outside the planet's Hill sphere, it escapes the planet's control. Any position within this wide range can be Earth's satellite. However, the moon is located at a distance of 380,000 kilometers, which is too coincidental, and looks the same size as the sun when viewed from the Earth's surface. Next, it is moving away from the Earth at a speed of 3.8 centimeters per year, so in the distant future, the moon and the sun will no longer be the same size. Conversely, on Earth long ago, the moon should have looked larger than the sun. So, when I looked into whether this was actually the case, I noticed a strange fact. That is, no records or stories about the moon in any country appear before the story of a great flood caused by a god. For example, the ancient Chinese secret book Shanhai Jing, written in the 4th century BC, contains a record of a great flood that destroyed the heavens and the earth. However, all the stories and people about the moon appear after this great flood occurred. The Mayan civilization, which had advanced astronomical knowledge, drew astronomical tables on the walls. The astronomical tables include Mars, Venus, and Mars, but for some reason, the moon, which should be closest to the Earth, is not there. Even in the legends of Native Americans, there was only the sun in the sky long ago, and no moon. There are also similar stories in ancient Greek tales. Thus, stories about the moon appeared in many countries and ethnic groups after the Great Flood. I will explain the reason for this in detail later. But let's start by looking at the story of the Great Flood. This Great Flood, which is considered a myth or legend, is somehow recorded in ancient documents from many countries around the world. Most major ancient civilizations, including the Bible, Sumerian civilization, ancient Greek civilization, ancient Egypt, ancient China, and ancient India, have left records of stories about the Great Flood. Think about it for a moment. Why were similar stories passed down on each continent in the distant past, when there were no means of communication or transportation? The only possible reason is that this great flood that destroyed the heavens and the earth was not a legend, but a real event. Based on what I have introduced so far, let's find out the true identity of the moon. From here on, it is just my speculation. A long time ago, a race of aliens with advanced science and technology came to this Earth using spaceships for some purpose. After reaching Earth, they set up the spaceship close to Earth, so close that part of the ship's hull probably entered the Earth's atmosphere. The spaceship was equipped with an anti-gravity device, so it would not collide with Earth even at such a close distance. In addition, a space elevator like a passageway was also installed between the surface and the spaceship. At that time, there were no life forms on Earth, but they created various forms of primitive life by their own hands. After that, they watched the evolution of the primitive life, and tried to give birth to intelligent life forms that were best suited to the Earth's environment. In the process, they succeeded in building civilizations many times, and wise life forms were reflected on the surface of the Earth. But they tried again and again until they created a perfect work. In the process of trying again, They had to erase the failed works from the surface of the earth in order to give birth to the next work. The way to erase them was to cause a global flood. They caused a flood by stopping the operation of the anti-gravity device installed on the spaceship. The moment the anti-gravity device stops, the spaceship moves outside the Earth's Roche limit to avoid colliding with the Earth. But the sudden appearance of a huge gravity causes a tsunami on Earth of a size far beyond imagination. As a result, land completely disappears from the surface of the Earth, and even creatures that can fly eventually run out of strength and fall into the sea. When all the failed works are eliminated and the flood calms down, they return the spaceship to the surface again and start making their next generation work. We do not know how many times this was repeated, but according to Mayan mythology, 4 civilizations were born before the current human race appeared on Earth. If this story at the beginning is true, then we humans, who appeared as the 5th time, are their latest work. We humans began to call them gods and recorded them in various ways. Their spaceships were named the Garden of Eden or Paradise in Western culture, and Kunlun or Tenmu in Eastern culture. The space elevator that connects the spaceship to the surface of the Earth has also been recorded in various ways. For example, the Tower of Babel, a tower that reaches the heavens in the Old Testament, Mount Bujo, a passage to the Holy Land in the ancient Chinese classics, Mount Sinai in Jewish legends, and Mount Olympus in Greek mythology are some of them. In addition, the Great Flood caused by them is also recorded in stories such as Noah's Ark. Of course, they are also recorded in various forms. The existence of the gods called Anunnaki is written in the ancient documents of the Sumerian civilization, which is said to be the last ancient civilization. In Sumerian, Anunnaki means those who descended from heaven to earth. As you can see from this meaning, Anunnaki is not a name that refers to one god, but a general term for gods.